Hello and welcome back to the channel. Um, I don't have much content. I know I'm working on it, but in this video, I'm going to be going over the first 5 builds that I have done so far in creative. This is just like a test for me to do 100 builds creatively, just to try and get a more better perspective on building and just get better in general. I guess I don't really know my end goal here, but I'm trying, and so far it's been kind of successful and somewhat enjoying it. But without further ado, let's just check these out. So my first build was a small cottage. I started off by making a 21 by 21 box, and I was going to do a build every day, but I realized for me that was impossible. So I started off with a sign and a border, and I was going to do small builds, but towards the like 4 and 5, I got a little more ambitious and wanted to try more. But as you can see here, it's just a small cottage. Wanted to try and use different blocks, textures, variations, just see what would happen. And I made it useful. There's furnaces, chest room. I know there can be more, but this is literally just my first build that I tried to do myself. And as you can see, it doesn't look too bad. Looks like they just took a tree and made a house out of it. Not bad. All right, for number 2, we had the watchtower. This one, this one I really enjoyed because I did background textures, I did design, did a neat looking roof. It's basic, but from this to this, I think was a little bit of an improvement. They kind of look this, they don't look the same, but kind of same aspect, I guess. It's simple, but it looks all right. All right, and here is number 3, the mini Japanese temple. This one, this one was fairly easy. I know it's super simple, and I have the same color. I see that now, but I still think for someone who doesn't build at all, this turned out somewhat decent. And I think if we're to expand or make it bigger or just add a little bit different colors, I think this would turn out looking very well. All right, and on to number 4. This is my second favorite build so far because this was the first one I went bigger. As you can tell, it is much bigger from the original 21 by 21. And this one's just a little gazebo with a garden attached to it. And I want to give a huge shout out to Pearl. Uh, I saw her first Hermitcraft 10 video, and the trees is where I got inspired. Whoa, God, I hate those notifications. Sorry, Pearl. Thank you for the inspiration for these trees. I saw it in her first Hermitcraft 10 video, and it was one of those things where I was like, hey, I could do that. I mean, hers looked much better, but I think with this gazebo and this garden pattern, I think this turned out very well, and this was one of my favorite builds so far. All right, and time for number 5, my most recent build and my most proud build. This this one took me forever, and I see now that I never finished it. I know I put those before I put those, which totally fine. This is just creative. There's no actual use to this. But someone said I should do a clock tower, and this build literally took me 3 days. I built 3 different versions of this build, and this was the final result. And I am just extremely happy with how this turned out because this was the most detailed, biggest build I've ever done. And I really like it. It looks really well. I used a ton of different blocks. I I did a ton of just taking the scroll wheel and just scrolling it back and forth while I'm building, just to randomize, and that way you don't have to build it with just one and break it. Yeah. And the clock, yes, it's small, but I don't know anything about redstone, so there was no way that I was going to build an actual working clock. As long as I know that it's supposed to be a clock, that is all that matters. But I know I got a few things to work on. I rushed it. I left blocks open. I didn't finish it. I got carried away. But hey, for my 5th build, I think I have came a long way from this. I said that backwards. I think I came a long way from this and that to making a beautiful garden gazebo, and then this Goliath. I know it's not big, but it's the biggest one so far, and the one I'm most proud of. But that pretty much sums it up for this video. I think I'm gonna do every 5 builds, just make one video of me going through either that week of build or those 5, and let you guys know how I feel about them, what I did, what I would change now, and just show my progression in stages. I really like how this is going. I started from super basic to a lot of detail, I think. Well, that's number 5. I mean, I have no more builds, so I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope you have the same thought of me getting better. I mean, I feel like I've improved tremendously. But I'm just going to end it there, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.